Hi you guys, hope you all are having a great day. Don't forget to subscribe and all the links will be down below. So just to say something, we actually had like a spear color war day today. So that's why I have glitter on my eyes. Anyway, this video is a quick brush haul. I basically got a package of Real Technique brushes and Morphe brushes, so let's get into it. So this isn't like my normal reviews where I mention the color, the wear, the consistency, because that doesn't really apply for brushes. So I'm just going to talk about the Real Technique brushes just to let you know what I think about them and how I feel about them. So first off, I just want to say that I don't tend to use Real Technique brushes or this is my first set of actual Real Technique. I just want to say for my face brushes, these are actually both new. I have Morphe brushes for my eyes, and I have Real Technique brushes for my eyes, and I have a couple of those. I think I have a lot more Real Techniques than I do Morphe. I do have a couple of Morphe though. When doing my face and foundation, like my makeup for my face, I will tend to use different brushes. I've never tried the Morphe or the Real Techniques with either of those. So this is basically to let you know how I feel, because I did get a contour collection series from Morphe, and I got the core series from Real Techniques. But like I said, I do have a lot of Real Technique eye brushes and a couple of Morphe brushes. So let's get into it. Real Techniques first. This is it. It goes for like $17.99 on Ulta. I got this for $12.99 off eBay, but I think it came with free shipping. And I had $22 on PayPal, which is why I bought it there instead of $10.99 at Target or Walmart.com. And then paying for shipping, even though I do have my Target Red card, which is free shipping, but it had not been activated yet. So first off, you get this, which is the buffing brush. And I've been using this every single day for the past 2 weeks to get a good feel on how this is. And we'll compare it to the Morphe. I'm just showing you the buffing brush. The next one is the contour brush. As you can see, I have not washed these because I wanted to show you guys that I actually use them. A lot of people show brushes that look like they've never even been used before. So that, I'm just saying, and I've washed them so I can tell you whether or not they shed and how they wash and what I've washed them with. But yeah, this is the contour brush. The next they say is, this is called the detailer brush, which is very, very small, as you can see. So you get a basis of how small it is. And the last one is a pointed foundation brush, and this is what it looks like. All right, overall, for the feeling of these are soft, very soft. I can give it that, but the brushes that I use are sable hair, so they're even softer, but you don't really want sable hair for foundation because it is so soft and so I don't know how to explain it, but if you were to apply it, it would just spread out, almost like a powder brush. So for these, I'm not exactly sure. I think this is synthetic, but I'm not positive. First of all, I love how you cannot see foundation marks on these. I absolutely love that. It's just like fingerprint proof almost. And second of all, with this, I buff my foundation in like this, or I will stipple it on if I need fuller coverage, and I feel like it does both very well. It does not leave streaks, and it does not leave that nastiness. I don't know, almost like a pilling type effect that when you apply it on, it almost sinks into your skin and you just can't see it anymore. I know some brushes do that. This did neither of it. I do realize though, if I started going like this, it would get, and not streaky, but it wouldn't be the most flawless finish. But I never apply foundation in streaks. You're never really supposed to do that unless you're just applying it on with a foundation brush. So I go like this and stipple my makeup on, or I buff it in, and both those ways gives me a flawless, almost flawless I would say, because my skin is not flawless. I have acne marks, so it doesn't matter what application, what foundation I use, my face will never be fully flawless, but you get the point. It does a very well job, and you can get the Expert Face Brush, which I almost bought instead of this, but this is bigger, and it goes faster. So honestly, if you are really looking for a good foundation brush, just get this set, or just get the Expert Face Brush, but I do prefer this better than the Expert Face Brush, again, because of the way it is, and it's round, so it gives you nice, it just applies very evenly. So overall, this is what I use for foundation. Contour. This is for the cheeks. Now, if you're looking for a very precise contour, you get that harsh line and you blend it out, this isn't the brush for you. But for me, I don't like doing that harsh contour when I'm going to school or just running errands. So this gets it right in the hollows of your cheek, and it also blends it out at the same time. And you can go like this, or you can buff it out like this. And honestly, this does an amazing job at that. So it won't give you that harsh line, but overall, it will give a nice soft finish. And I absolutely love it for that, because a lot of brushes will pick up too much product. Like if you have a very pigmented bronzer, or a very pigmented contour shade or blush and you apply it straight on, it can be a lot. But this gives it like that narrowing down and it blends it out so seamlessly. So I really like this for that. But again, I don't tend to use it all that often for bronzer because I do have another brush that just gives a lighter application than this one does. But no one really is looking for a lighter application. Most people want to look like they contoured just slightly or just to chisel out the face a little bit more. So this is what I would suggest this brush for. And again, it does pick up a little bit more pigment than a regular powder brush would, but other contour brushes that are very, very wide and very, very narrow do a harsher contour than this does. So I really do like this brush for contour. So again, this set is completely worth it to me. Now this, I don't tend to use this all that often because I will not really apply my foundation like with this brush, but sometimes I will blend out my concealer I use under my eyebrows with this if I'm looking for more of a softer, you know, more subtle look. And that's basically what I've been using this for. Other than that, I have so many foundation brushes like this that I don't tend to use, but it is pointed. So if you wanted to go like this with your concealer, it works well. But I just always do concealer with a sponge. That's just my preference. But if I were to get the most use out of this, it would technically be for concealer under the eye. So if you're looking for something like that, this is the way to go. But just remember that it's kind of more like flat. You can't really blend it out because of the texture. So you can always go in with this brush, which is slightly pointed too, but it's a little bit bigger. And for the last brush, the one that's so small, I'm kind of like, what am I doing with? This is what I really use to carve out my eyebrows. I do have more of like a square brush that I tend to use for my eyebrows, but lately I've been trying these out for my review. So I've been using this one. So on to Morphe. Morphe came with this set, and this is the only brush I have not used by Morphe. All the other ones I've used. So to start off, this is just, I don't even know, it's like a brush, but look how dense it is. Compared to this, as you can see, it's more wobbly, where this is more dense. And what I loved is I applied my foundation with it, and I was done in under a minute. I just went like this all over, and it like was blended in. It just covered more of a surface area. And I think the M329, 349, I don't know what that is. The big like buffing blending brush, that will cover even more surface area. But this, holy cow, this like covered so much. And I finished my foundation this morning so quickly. I'm like, I was amazed, and it's like done a perfect job. And I did this, and I tried this with under the concealer, but again, I don't tend to use these brushes all that often. Pointed brushes that aren't for under eye concealer, I just don't tend to use. And then the next brush is just an angled brush that you can apply blush with, but this I do tend to see is very fat. So you're gonna cover more surface area, so you're not gonna get that precision. You get that more softer blended look, just like you would with a brush like this. But I have not tried this yet, so I can't let you know how this is, but I don't see myself really forgoing this because I have a smaller brush just like this that I use for my blush, and it doesn't apply so much all over. And for the smaller brushes, this I use to get the inner corner for my eyes and like, you know, to add that little highlight there, or just to get the concealer that sometimes gets stuck over there. I've used this. This I used today, actually. What did I use this today for? Let me remember. Actually, today I had used this for my concealer underneath. I think it did a very well job because you don't want a very, very dense brush for underneath the concealer because you want your concealer to be as pigmented, to cover up as many dark circles as you can. So this was perfect for it, and I absolutely loved it. And then this last brush, again, is very similar. It's like the smaller version of this brush. I haven't really used this brush either. These are the two brushes that I just don't tend to use, so I can't let you know. So that's what each brush is. I would compare these two together. I would compare these two together. And other than that, they're really basically not alike. So for these two, I would give this, because of the fingerprints, I like it better, and it's lighter. This is a really, this is like heavy, very heavy. It's a really heavy brush. I don't know, and it gets fingerprints. So that's the packaging. I do like this a little bit better. I like the sleekness of this, where this is really heavy. But for brush performance, they both gave me an amazing finish. I don't think one gave me a better finish than the other, but this surface area is a lot more than this. This is more buffing. This is more, you can just stipple it in. This is a lot more dense, so this is going to give you a little bit more full coverage than this would, but honestly, I have a lot of acne. This gives you full coverage too, so don't go be like, oh, I can't get this brush, it's not going to get me full coverage. These both gave me full coverage, more than a beauty blender would, but this just did it a little bit faster. So that's really my review. I got my Real Technique brushes, like I said, for $12.99 off of eBay, even though you can get them on Target.com or Walmart for $10.99. These Morphe brushes I got for $15 off of HauteLook, and it came with 6 of them. So for me, they're both worth it, and I did wash both of them. Now these, nothing happened when I washed them. The pigment came out all right. This came with this nasty smell. It smelled like plastic when I opened these from HauteLook. It came with a little pouch and everything. I don't know if it was the brush or the packaging. So I washed these right away. I used them and I rewashed them. I know a lot of people complain that Morphe's brushes shed, but I have not had any shedding while washing them. I've had no issues with any of that. And each brush does come with a little bit of those hairs that are a little bit longer than all the others. This has a couple. This doesn't have any. But you can always trim them. I never trim them. They don't really get in the way. No big deal. If it starts shedding, that's when I get mad that I have little hairs stuck in my foundation. But while washing this and using these, I have found no shedding. Besides the smell, that's really it. And I wash my brushes with baby shampoo because it doesn't have any of those harsh chemicals. It can like completely dissolve the wood, the synthetic hair, the sable hair, the whatever hair. And a lot of times it will dissolve that, but at the same time, it doesn't really get the foundation mark off, which is why I just get the regular Johnson's baby shampoo, or like the regular generic brand, like Target, Publix, Walmart. So that's it for my review. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you want me to do more brush videos, let me know. But if you really are looking for foundation brushes, these 2 brushes are amazing. So I hope you guys all have a great day.